Hi girls and boys, this is the week of April 12th through the 16th, and this is day 1. Let's review everything you're going to need today, and then we'll get started. We're going to be talking about the letters L and M. So go through your packet and pull out the worksheet that has a lion. We're going to be gluing leaves onto this worksheet. And if you don't have a leaf, I bet you can go out in your yard and find something that looks similar to this, and we're going to be cutting it up. So you can either tear it up with your fingers or use a pair of scissors. And then the letter M has a picture of a monkey, and we're going to use a brown crayon and color this in to make it look a little bit like mud. So make sure you have a brown crayon. Then we're going to be tracing the letters L and M. So you need the worksheet that has, I can trace and write the letter L. It has a picture of a lamb and a lamp on the bottom. And over here, I can trace and write the letter M. It has a picture of a carton of milk and a mouse. Now to attach the leaves onto this, we're going to need some glue also. So hopefully you have some glue handy. We're going to be working on our numbers worksheet, number 6, 7, and number 8. 8 apple blossoms. So those are the worksheets we'll need, 6, 7, and 8. And then I'll be reading a book later, and that should take up most of our time. First thing we're going to do, like we always do, is pull out our nameplate along with our marker. A dry erase marker, just like this. So let's take our time and trace our names. I have a little board I use that helps me out. I don't know if you have a clipboard. I love a clipboard. You might have a kitchen table. I don't have one of those at school, so this works great for me. Let's go ahead and take your time and trace your name. And when you're through, hold it up for me. I'd love to see your name. It might take you a few minutes longer than me, and you're welcome to put the video on pause. Here is my name. Oh, love what I'm seeing out there. You're having a good time. You're making lots of great progress. Some of you are using the back side too, where you don't have a guide and you're writing your own name. Love that. Good work. Now for the letters. I love these. These will turn into a really neat book. It's called a collage book. And here we go. The letter L. L is for leaves. Hopefully you have found a leaf outside, and with your fingers you can just tear it in little pieces. What do you think about that? It's pretty easy. And then with some Elmer's glue, or if you have a glue stick, you can go ahead and just put some glue on a few of these circles here. And see, that's why you need just little pieces of leaves. See? And you go along and you glue down the leaves. That'll help you remember that L, leaf. Leaf. Plural, that means more than one. You have a bunch of them. And believe me, when you have a tree, you have lots of leaves, don't you? So L is for leaves. I love this. I think it looks so good. Look at all those. Look at all my leaves. And when you're through, it might look something like this. You have the large L, the uppercase L, and the lowercase L. Now continuing on with our L, let's trace the letter L. Let's get that worksheet out that says, I can trace and write letter L. Get your dry erase marker out. Make sure you have the plastic sleeve. That way you can use this more than one time. Now the capital L, you start on the top line and you come to the bottom and then you go across. Go from the top line to the bottom line and then across. Do that with me, right across here. I'm only going to have you do the top two lines today with me. There's uppercase L and lowercase l. Some students say, well, that just looks like the number 1. And I agree with you. It's just a straight line up and down, isn't it? From the top line to the bottom line. That is how you make a lowercase l. Lots of words start with L. Here's an animal that starts with an L. This is a lamb. Mary had a little lamb. There's a lamb. And here, this is a lamp. Now, if an L is a proper noun, which it's like a person's name or a specific place, like Louisiana, we have a state, or a person's name like Lisa or Lou, you always would use a capital letter. But just a common word like lamb or lamp, you're going to use the lowercase. So that's our work on L. Now let's work on the letter M. I like the letter M. Maybe because my name, Miss Mio, has 2 M's in it. And this sheet is fun. It has M and lowercase m. So we have the capital M, see the capital M, and the lowercase m. Has a picture of a monkey. You're welcome to color that in later if you like. And this says M is for mud. How could we make this look like mud? I have a brown crayon. How about if we just kind of fill in some of these circles with brown smudges? I think that makes it look like mud. You have to use your imagination. You don't have to do all of them, but several of them. Kind of like a mud puddle. It's not usually a uniform set pattern. It just kind of goes in lots of different directions. And there we have M is for mud. That looks kind of like mud to me. If you wanted to do all of them, it would look something like this. So we have M, monkey, M, mud. Now we're going to trace the letter M. We're going to have this sheet that says, I can trace and write the letter M. When you trace the letter M, I've seen it a few different ways. This is the way I like to. I make a straight line from the top line to the bottom line, and then top line to the bottom line, and then you fill it in. That is how I make my M's. M. There we go. Lots of M's on this side. I think they're pretty close together, so that's fine if you want to skip one. Now for the lowercase m, you start on the middle line. You go from the middle line to the bottom line, and then what I call these are rainbows. You make 2 rainbows. The middle line to the bottom line, and then you make 2 rainbows. That's the lowercase m. Let's go ahead and make another one. Middle line to the bottom line, and make 2 rainbows. We have a picture here of milk. Milk starts with the sound, and we have a mouse. Mouse. Both of these words start with the M. Let's think of some proper nouns that would always start with a capital letter, like a person's name, like Monica or Michael. Or how about a state like Mississippi? That's a good one too. So they would use capital letters for those words. Just common words like milk or mouse, they would be lowercase. I like the letter M. I hope you enjoyed making that too. We are now going to work on some numbers. Before we do, let's count to 20. We're going to act like we are washing our hands. And when we were at school, we always talk about counting to 20 when we're washing our hands, because you have to wash your hands 20 seconds to get all those germs off of there, just to be safe. So let's go ahead and turn on the water fountain, or the faucet, get our water. Let's get some soap. Start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now rinse off. Get the water all over your hands. Let's get some paper towels. Throw it in the trash can. All good. You did a great job counting to 20. Now we practice writing lots of different numbers and talking about numbers. So we're going to talk about 6, 7, and 8 today. Pull out the sheet that says, I see 6 apple seeds. And make sure it's over a plastic sheet, and we can color in 6 apple seeds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Start on the dot, and you go around and back around. So you go down and around. See if you can fill these in. See the dot to dots? Just stick with those. I love that number because it reminds me of kind of a racetrack. Now on the back side, I see 7 apple seeds. Let's count to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 apple seeds. Let's start on the dot, and you go across, and then you slant down. Across the top and slant down. You're doing it. Across the top and slant down. The number 7. We're also going to work through 8 and 9. Actually just 8, and then tomorrow we'll do 9 and 10. Here we have 8 apple blossoms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I see 8 apple blossoms. Start on the dot. You go around and down, making an S. See how that looks like an S, the letter S? But then you finish it off coming back around. There's an 8. Let's do it again. Around and down and back again. Around and down and back again. Here we go. Just a few more. That's the number 8. Let's clap our hands 8 times. We'll count while we clap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You did it. Now for our story today, we've been studying dogs. We're going to be studying dogs for actually a few weeks. And this is a classic that you may or may not have heard of. It's been around for a long time, by Norman Bridwell. Clifford's Family. Clifford is a character who has lots of books written about him. Clifford is the big red dog. And we're going to be learning about Clifford today. Here we have the front cover, the back cover. This keeps the book together. It's called the spine. And the page on the inside that has the title again, Clifford's Family. This is called the title page, Clifford's family. It lists it one more time on the inside. I love looking at Clifford. I'm Emily Elizabeth, and this is my dog. His name is Clifford. We live in a small town now, but we were both born in the city. One day, we went back to visit our old home in the city. Do you see how big this dog is? Bigger than all the cars. Do you think that's true? Are dogs bigger than cars? No. So this is not a true story. It's make-believe. So we call this type of story fiction. Can you say that with me? Fiction. Clifford hadn't seen his mother since he was a tiny puppy. She hardly knew him. Look how little his mama is. She still treated him like a puppy. She checked his teeth, and she looked at his ears to see if he had been washing them. The man told us where Clifford's brother and sister lived. We went to find them. Clifford's sister, Claudia, lived nearby. She was taking her owner for a walk. It looks like the owner has some vision problems, and so this is a work dog helping someone with a disability. That's really awesome. We went to the park with them. A taxi was blocking the crosswalk. Clifford took care of that. What did he do? He lifted the entire taxi. Next, we found his brother Nero. Nero was a rescue dog at a fire station. While we were there, the alarm rang. We followed the fire truck and we watched Nero rush into the building. Clifford helped him. Look, he's helping people from the roof because he's that big. Nero was very brave. Then we set off to the country. Clifford's other sister, Bonnie, was a farm dog. One of Bonnie's jobs was to herd the sheep into their pen. Clifford wanted to do some farm work too. He started to drive the cows toward the barn. One of the cows was a bull, and bulls don't like the color red. Oh no. Clifford was scared. He was smart. He didn't want to hurt the bull, so he jumped out of the way. When Clifford jumped, he really jumped. We had one more place to visit. It was Clifford's father's home in a town nearby. The house was small, and there were a lot of kids playing in the yard. Clifford's father didn't have a collar, or a dog dish, or a dog house, but he seemed very happy. I guess it was the kids. He sure loved kids. He was a lot like Clifford, just a little smaller. Clifford wished his family could come and live with us, but they all had people who needed them, just as I need Clifford, the best dog of all. I think that was a fun book to read, especially if you've never heard of Clifford before. Feel free to go to the public library or look for Clifford videos online, and you'll get to see all kinds of stories read about Clifford, the big red dog. Be sure to go to the description box below and link in and find the video that I have for your homework assignment, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.